some therapies, use a therapy, swords. They had 3 of them. Holy moly, and they're out of here. Okay, welcome back to another pre-modern video. So we've got a donation deck here for the deck Dance Academy from Nota Bene, who, by the way, was the first person to give me a pre-modern dono and force my hand into the format. I had been looking to get into the format. It interested me quite a bit anytime I looked at it. And of course, the second I played it, I was hooked. So I'm not sure I would have started by now or where I'd be in the format, but I'm grateful for Nota Bene for encouraging me and getting me in when I did, or when they did, because it has been literally the most enjoyable format since coming into it. So thank you again, Nota Bene. And here we are with a really sweet deck, Dance Academy. I know a lot of people love this, and for good reason. It's a fun combo deck. So how does it work? Basically, what you're trying to do is get Mind Over Matter and Arcanis the Omnipotent into play together. So Arcanis, which I know this card from like when CDH first started, not CDH, EDH first started. It was played at least a reasonable amount, but it is a creature that has tap Ancestral on it, right? And if you get Mind Over Matter into play, this is an enchantment that you discard a card, you can untap or tap any artifact, creature, or land. So you can just you discard 1, you draw 3, discard 1, untap your Arcanis, draw 3, discard 1, you draw 3 your deck. And then eventually you get Kamalh into play, and this has similar attacks except it bolts anything. Eventually you find it, you can either cast it because you'll have enough mana, or you can discard to Mind Over Matter. Actually, that doesn't make sense. You don't want to cast it. It has to have haste. But you discard it to Mind Over Matter, and you Shallow Grave, Corpse Dance, and then you bolt them to death. So how in the heck do we get both Mind Over Matter and Arcanis into play? Well, Intuition plays a pretty big role in doing so. Basic line in your Intuition is to get Cabal Therapy, Academy Rector. I don't know Academy Rector, this one's a classic. 4 mana for a 1/2. If it dies, you can exile it. If you do, you can go get any enchantment and put it into play. Which a lot of times is how we get Mind Over Matter into play. And of course, you just have Form of the Dragon, which is really good against a large chunk of the format. We're talking pre-modern, so huge chunk of threats are not flying, so creatures without flying can't attack. Just on its own, it is going to give a lot of decks massive problems. And then you get to 5 anything every upkeep. So that is just an option with Rector. And then we've got some Disruption and Duress and Cabal Therapy. I know Nota Bene's been toying with a number of lists, so I don't think this is necessarily a stock list, but that this is at least their take at the moment. Miscalc, it's counterspell, it cycles. And then we have Frantic as an enabler. A lot of the times what you're doing is, you're going to be fighting through Disruption, using our own Disruption, and simply just getting an Arcanis into play, maybe even drawing 3. Just a Shallow Grave, your Arcanis as like an Ancestral can be good, but ideally you want to do it on end step, because then you get the 3 from the haste, and then you also get to untap and get the 3 on your turn, and then you also have Arcanis in play, so you can start comboing off. I guess the one thing that's puzzling to me is the Necromancy. Can end step... Okay, you can end step bring back the Arcanis. So it gives you a 3rd... it doesn't give haste, but the creature wouldn't be sacrificed till the next cleanup step. Wait. I'm probably just going to go test this in solitaire mode before we start our match in between. Because end step and cleanup are different things. And it's an old enough card that I don't know if it's been errated. Okay, it has not been errated. The cleanup is not a phase, you know what I mean? It's not like, it's the classic, if you're in end step and your opponent, you're in end step and you say go to cleanup and your opponent says okay, they won't have an opportunity to cast anything or do anything, because you go to cleanup and then the next thing that happens is it's their turn. There's no cleanup, like, step. You can't say, like, at the end of your cleanup step, you know what I mean? What that means for necromancy is that you can't cast it on their end step to get your Arcanis and untap. It would sacrifice on cleanup. So I guess it's just the 9th reanimation effect that can at least get Rector back, so that intuition can at least have a reanimation effect. I don't know why you wouldn't play reanimate though. Reanimate dead at that point. I guess one thing you can do is on their end step bring back a Rector, and then your Rector is getting sacrificed, which is what you want. There's probably some intuition piles where it makes sense to have necromancy in it for that reason. But I don't know, maybe it'll become more clear as we play. Sure, the comments will be all over it. And I'm not gonna pretend to know what should or shouldn't be in a sideboard of a deck like this, because I'm still reasonably new to the format and certainly new to this deck. But they all seem like reasonable cards. Powder gets rid of a lot of problematic permanents. Namely, I would imagine, Cormorant's Crypt, Phyrexian Furnace, and there's just a lot of threats that it hits if we need, like, more time. Especially from decks that are going to be playing Crypt and Furnace. It's very low cost to be playing those cards. Pulling Fatigue can kill Meddling Mage. You can get it with Intuition. Whether they give it to you directly or you get to flash it back. Bloom against white spells, huh? Imagine it's pretty good against swords. Good enough, at least. There's also Disenchant. More Disruption with Duress. Nulls are nice. So yeah, let's run it. See you in round 1. Alright, here we go. Round 1 against Backfish. We're on the play. And got 2 monsters and a setup card. No acceleration, no disruption. I'm gonna keep it, but this feels kind of like a bare minimum. Excuse me, bare minimum keep. But there are 9 reanimation effects, and we're gonna see 4 or 5 cards before then. We're hoping not to get disrupted, but like we're getting duressed. Bummer. Consideration to not play a land. I think I'm not going to play a land, because if I draw Shallow Grave, then I could use my cleanup step. I get punished if I draw Frantic, but I think it's okay here to at least take draw step here. Alright. Kind of punished with the intuition draw as well. This will play a land. Oh god, it looks like we're playing Psychatog. This is going to be a grind. AK, yeah. Undiscovered Paradise. Interesting. Alright. Another land is not good. Play the Delta and pass. Of course, they immediately find another AK. So, we already have Arcanis in hand. If my intuition, provided it doesn't get countered, I'd be getting Cabal Therapy, Academy. I'm not sure, actually. Shuffled on the Portent. I feel like something else is going on here. I don't know why you'd play all these lands. I don't think you would with Psychatog. Alright, I suspect they counter this with a Force Spike. That's pretty brutal. I mean, the rest of the cards look exactly like Psychatog. Probably the worst draw on the deck. Okay. So, the closest thing I can see, at least, to a, quote, stock list, some of the things that it plays are gold lands, gemstone, city of brass. Okay, there's a tide. That's good enough for me. And then it also plays Mox Diamonds instead of Petals. And it plays Dark Writs. I think plays a little better towards, like, casting these things when they clunk up in your hand. Having said that, I mean, it's not like it would have helped us here. Just a side note. As well as, you know, they'll cast the Rector if it's in your hand. Alright, either way, what they're playing, we're going to want more Duress. I guess the Annuls are at least a good answer to Tide. I don't know how much Tide they're actually running, but probably worth it here. I'm fine with just that. I don't mind Miscalc. I don't mind trimming a Petal. The Necromancy. Doesn't seem like it's going to be the Form of the Dragon matchup. I mean, maybe it's just 2 Petals. Trim a land. I think we're going to want land drops. It's possible we can go underneath them with 8 discard spells. We don't play Dark Writ. Are you allowed to trim Arcanis? Frantic Search worse? Frantic Search is a little worse in a matchup like this anyways. We could also just trim a reanimation effect. Corpse Dance, since we're going to be, we're going to be spending a lot more time waiting and sculpting, working through disruption. Hands are way too clunky. This hand could, like, be really strong and fast, but it also just do nothing. We might try it. Petal Tomb Frantic. We draw into an Arcanis. It's really good. We need too many things for it to work. I mean, if we found even a blue source land, it would be really good. I'm going to keep it for science. It's a high risk, high reward hand. I would not keep it on the draw, even though you get an extra draw to find a land. I just think the power level of going underneath them is what makes this hand at least have an argument to keep. Problem is Duress. Maybe you're just not allowed to keep a sketchy hand like this against what they're doing. Yeah, we didn't hit particularly well either. I'll get rid of City and Cabal Therapy. Might even just be the Ancient Tomb. Yeah. Okay. I mean, that went about as poorly as it could have. But we're kind of back in it if we just draw a blue or black source. I wouldn't have minded missing on the source as long as I hit a monster. I was hoping to hit, yeah, and perfect timing. If we had hit either, I think we would have been in an okay spot. But the fact that we hit neither, pretty disastrous. But I would say overall, this is just probably a pretty difficult thing to be playing against. So I don't mind taking a high risk, high reward early on. It's the sort of thing that if it works, you can steal a game where you would otherwise not be able to. This could all just be really severe copium. Okay. Good draw. Duress or hold up a null. Okay, Duress. Can't get Parallax Tided here. Okay, they have multiple Duress themselves. They have no black mana. Certainly not Psychatog. Well, actually, I still think it is. Yeah, I think it is. Alright, Tide is gone. See, now we look like a genius. Now our hand is totally functional. I mean, it's still not ideal, but we're in it. We don't look like a genius. This Cabal Therapy's looking decent. Intuition. They have their own intuition. Although they already used 2 AKs, so they can't get, like, a bunch of value that way. They can get a black source, though. They can hardcast the foil. I'm gonna cast the Frantic. If you want to hardcast foil, that's fine. Didn't expect that they'd be doing it. Now we're just getting after it. Let's get rid of a null. Arcanis. The order. Tap these. We'll play Island. I feel like I need to get rid of these Duresses. Or I could just name Intuition. But then if they rip a black source, I'm in trouble. Can't just pass. I'm just gonna Duress. They let it go. Oh, so it's blue-black Dreadnought. I see. Okay. It's gonna take Intuition. I'm still super worried about a black source. Okay, no black source. No black source. That's nice. That's Intuition. I might actually be intuitioning for a black source here. But maybe not. So we go with the standard pile of Rector. We don't need to get Arcanis. We already have Cabal Therapy, though. I think I just want a black source. Then I can Cabal Therapy the foil, and then I can end step Arcanis. Worst case, we get Duress, I can at least Shallow Grave draw 3. They have to stifle it, is kind of weird. Yeah, let's go Delta, Delta, or wait, they have Stifle. Let's get Swamp, Catacombs, Catacombs. There's probably something that I'm missing. There's a better line here. course, we draw a black source. It's fine. Let's go Cabal Therapy. Now, this isn't great if they drew another counterspell. We did give them, this is going to give them a total of 2 draw steps to do so. Double Stifle. So they can stifle both Arcanis draw triggers. Interesting. Do I still bring it back and make them use them? Probably not. A lot of draws that can help me out of this situation. Not one of them. Another Cabal Therapy would easily bear best draw. Now we get Duress. Because they found the black source. Didn't really help to, like, I want this in my graveyard. I'm gonna let it happen. Would still really like to draw Cabal Therapy. Duress is okay, but Cabal Therapy would be best. 4 lands is the actual worst. Especially after we intuition 3 lands out of our deck. Like, even just drawing more reanimation effects will need that. Let's fetch Swamp out of the deck here. Good draw. Okay, we got our Shallow Grave back. We can hardcast Arcanis if we draw that as well. Still think I don't want to play into these Stifles. Interesting, they're not going to Duress yet. Do have another Duress. Where's the Arcanis? Pretty nice. 4, 5, 6. Just hardcast that bitch. You'll love to see that. We could have, like, Cabal Therapy, tapped our mana differently, and then Shallow Graved it back in. Gotten rid of their Stifles, but just the draw 3, I don't like that. Getting to untap with this. They're gonna have to start stifling it. Corpse Dance is interesting. Okay, I think I'm gonna end step attempt to draw 3. Would get pretty rowdy here if we wanted to. Go for swords. Make them use a stifle. Yep. Did not expect. Well, I guess we saw the Adhikar Waste were played against what they're doing here. Like Esper Tide. It's gotta be a Psychatog, right? Or no, I'm sorry. Since we've seen the. It is Dreadnought. I'm gonna attempt to bounce it, and they can stifle that if they want. Hang a lot of life. I think I want to attempt to bounce it. Okay, they are gonna stifle that. That is fine. Stifle, stifle. Gaining 3 is kind of nice. Now they duress us, but we have 2 of these. And we gotta hope they don't have some sort of counterspell. Corpse Dance, land, so they have 1 unknown. The Tide? No way. Another duress. Ah, they have 1 card, it's Vision Charm. So I could use this to draw 3 and get rid of my Arcanis. Or I could leave it. I think I want to draw 3. We have so much mana. I feel like we have so many hits in our deck. But we're getting duressed. Alright, fine. Like, a duress will still be on the stack. Oh, that's not true. I should have done it. So you can let the duress resolve, then draw 3. It's still reasonable to just let that go, though. And this is why gold lands have been in the deck traditionally. That you can just cast your Rector. But we do have Petals. I mean, Rector still isn't, like, spectacular, but... Alright, so now Intuition. So you want to Intuition... Doesn't... Well... Yeah, I want to do this end step. 3, 7, 8, 5... Yeah. Let's do this end step. Yikes. They've had some timely draws here. Let's go... This... Cast Intuition... And I think I'm just getting Graves and a Corpse Dance. Hoping they didn't draw a counter. Or get another Arcanis. So if they give me that, I can hard cast it. They don't. Multiple reanimation effects are good. You get 2 Arcanis, 1 reanimation effect. So I don't pull them all out of my deck. Slower way to go, though, and they have swords, but swords is going to get me either way. I don't know. I think we're mostly dead unless they have nothing. Still have another game to play, too. Okay, I'm going to take Arcanis, 2 of these reanimation spells. I don't feel great about it. Any order's fine. Shallow Grave is in. And I draw 3. Stifle for it. They also have a swords? Do not. Good news. The other Arcanis. Interesting. Draw? Ooh. Okay. Need to get Academy Rector into play. Need a Petal. Let's tuition. Petal, or Petal. Oy. 2, 3, 4, 5. Can't cast Mind Over Matter. Either way, we're probably still winning. I think I go Petal, Mind Over Matter. They might not want to give me Mind Over Matter, because if I have one land in hand, I can just cast it and win. But the Petal's probably very puzzling for them. Well, okay, they did give us Petal. We play Petal. Yeah, I mean, I'm just gonna play this instead of trying to hit something with Cabal Therapy. I'm not convinced they have anything. Cabal Therapy them. Mind Over Matter. Just gonna name the Vision Charm because I know it's in their hand. Their hand is nothing that interacts. Yeah, 3 lands. Thing. And say always yes. Always yield. Untap, draw. Tap, discard Kamalh. Draw. Play a land. Cast. Corpse Dance. Bolt you. Tap. Bolt you. Tap Arcanis. Draw 3. Tap. Bolt you. Untap. Bolt you. Untap. Bolt you. Untap. Bolt you. Okay. We got there. By turn 14. I don't know that there were better ways to play that. Aside from maybe just mulliganing the hand. But we got through a lot of crap. I say we run it back. It's gonna be a race against the clock. If I wind up with lethal and playing timeout, we're counting it as a win. I think the combination of recording and being new to the deck is mostly what's eating my clock. Okay, we have discard and reanimation effects and lands. I think we're supposed to keep this since their deck is so slow and interactive. That's pretty good. I could just go to cleanup. I'm actually just going to go to cleanup here. We are dangerously close to kind of a quick win. It'll take a couple more turns, but okay. So if I go Tomb Petal, I can end step Corpse Dance, can't untap Duress, and then also end step Shallow Graves. So play Catacombs. I should have played Delta, I think, so I can fetch when they tap out, so I don't get stifled. I guess I'm not even that unhappy if they do stifle. We gotta worry about Tide too, so I definitely need to Duress here. I guess I can just play another Catacombs. Oh no, that's not how that works. I don't know why I was thinking, I'm an idiot. You know how the card works. I was thinking one of them was Underground River. Even though I said, I don't know. I got twisted up. Okay, no Tide. That's good. I don't think they're like a 4-tide deck anyways. There's the Underground River. Go Petal. Or Spike the Petal. Okay. I mean, I think I just want to try to bait out a Stifle here. They're on that plan. Not. Alright, we'll go Swamp. I'm going to pass. Now we do have enough to go. End step Corpse Dance. That's fine. End step Corpse Dance. I guess it's not the best against swords, but I'll still get to draw 3. Portent, sure. I am worried about the clock. I guess I end step Shallow Grave. Play around 4 Spike. I don't think there's a great reason to. I don't need to be duressing a 4 Spike with my Corpse Dance. Okay, they have Tide. Found Tide. That's terrible. I should have sequenced my lands differently. This comes back to the screw up because I could have duressed and step Shallow Grave. Yeah, I mean it resolves. I think we need to draw 3. I should have tapped the Catacombs, but right, I guess. 3 and F6. Their lands. Need to at least duress away a Stifle here. Draw from Portent. Play. Land duress. Double swords and a 4 Spike. Guess I take 4 Spike. I'm just gonna go to cleanup. I don't know, I was thinking I had 8 cards in hand. And they don't have a Stifle, so I'm getting these lands back. likely. Alright, let's put Rector in the graveyard. Miscalc. Alright. Play a swamp. Okay, we got our lands back. We're probably going to wind up losing to the clock. Any Cabal Therapy nips these swords and lets us do Academy stuff. Wish and gets Cabal Therapies. Let's do that. Some therapies. Use a therapy. Swords. They had 3 of them. Holy moly, and they're out of here! Honestly, I think we were going to win that and in time as well. Because we had those swords. I can play out these petals. I can Corpse Dance the Rector. Use a Cabal Therapy to sack it immediately. Get Mind Over Matter. I'd have to wait till next turn. But then I can easily just hardcast this and then wait. Then kill them with it next turn. I don't know. It's going to be close with the clock to do all that. I think they mostly left because, well, it's pretty crazy to get hit by Cabal Therapy like that. Plus, without the clock being down like that, we would definitely win that game. So, well, we're 1-0. We'll see you in round 2. All right, here we go. Round 2 against Napcaster. We're on the play. And is clunky. We will mulligan. It doesn't really do anything. I think I'm going to 5. Okay. End is better. Keeping my lands. Keeping Duress. Keeping Intuition. And Corpse Dance. Let's lead off with a Duress. Oh, God. Gonna be another slog. Except we're way behind. I think it's the same deck. Well then. I think I take Tide. Counterspell and Force Spike I can get through eventually. But Tide could be an issue. Got the blue source. Nice draw. They also just have to like hold up Force Spike a lot. Probably slip this Intuition through at some point. Then land, not the worst. Impulse. I will let them resolve that first. They have and get a daze. Oh, good for them. But I'm gonna Intuition. Get our standard pile here. Rector. Arcanis. Therapy. What's the Rector? Sure. Alright. Their second island. Now they're representing Counterspell. Got another land. They're not in the worst spot. Factory, sure. Play the Underground River. I want a Corpse Dance on step. Get through the Counterspell. It also taps them out. Better play if we have another play to make when we untap. At the same time, we don't have infinite time. They draw Tide. We might want to just hope that we draw something. We do get punished if that something is a discard spell. Then we otherwise would have been able to just discard the counterspell, potentially make the play. I think I should probably display some patience. I would say that we're behind. Draw. Lands are the worst. Not as a general statement, but certainly here. Like, drawing a land there is a disaster. Does get us up towards, like, you know, Anus becomes a good draw because we can just slam it. We are getting beaten up by a factory. Okay, that's a great draw. Alright, let's play Tomb. I am going to therapy them. They have a second counterspell. They definitely counterspell this. Even if they don't, they probably should just counterspell this. No way I'm not naming counterspell. You might as well just hold the information. There are ways to get punished. Cast the counterspell. Would Corpse Dance draw 3. And then bounce. And also then sack it again, so just stay. Okay. I'm gonna make this play. Could buy it back even. And then just use tower to sack it. Double Force Spike. And it goes away. Buyback's a bad play. I'm gonna buy it back. I feel like they're not gonna double Force Spike here. They do. It's fine. I don't like need the mana. I can Cabal Therapy them to sack it. They did in fact draw another counterspell. That sucks. They can Chain of Vapor it, but I don't really care about that. Ah, Stifle. Stifle, stifle, stifle. Well, let's sack Arcanis then. And I guess now Corpse Dance gets 4 spiked. 4 cards, so I shouldn't have sacked that. I could have used Cabal Therapy to do it, but then I can't cast anything anyways. I mean, we mostly just worked through some of their interaction, right? That wasn't a bad turn. Now we effectively get to do the same thing next turn, except there's no counterspell. That's a terrible draw. Let's, yeah, do it again. Drew counterspell for turn. Okay. There's not much we can do about that. Guess I could have potentially not paid 2 life. Right, we got a 9. Lands are terrible. Here comes Factory again. Go 7. Belgrave's good. Again, we could be end-stepping this. I don't know that I can afford to give them their draw, though. I think I just want Shallow Grave now. I mean, if they're just going to draw a counterspell every turn, then is what it is. Also, like, if we drew a Petal at some point, we could have just cast Academy Rector. Another argument for the gold lands, at least some number of them. I think it's pretty important to have them. Okay. Put us on a 1-turn clock, holding up something. Stance. Buying it back. Think so. Stance buyback. You really draw your 4th counterspell? They're just holding up as much interaction as they can. All right, we're going to draw. No Stifle. I like that. And that's a castable Mind Over Matter. I afford to Cabal Therapy beforehand. They don't have Stifle. They don't have Counterspell. Chain of Vapor's a pain in the ass. So I Cabal Therapy. Then I have 2, 4, 5, 6. Oh, they can double Force Strike Mind Over Matter. I'll have to use Frantic first. It's fine. Yeah, let's Cabal Therapy. Getting rid of their Chain of Vapor. Oh, the Mana Leak. Problematic? Very much so. Okay, let's go City. Gotta cast Frantic here. We have to use the tower. Maybe not. I'll use Island. Or my blue mana. Get rid of Intuition and Rector. Tap City. This deck is difficult. Catacombs and Island. And we Corpse Dance the Academy back. And I think we just win with Red Enchantment. If I get Mind Over Matter, I don't really have enough resources to hop off with it. Can't Mana Leak this. Oh, they do have a flyer. Okay. Well, probably dead. Sack. I'm not going to attack. Yeah, we have this mana floating anyways. Sack. Academy. I guess there's the Necromancy. You can just straight up get Arcanis. You can also tap stuff with Mind Over Matter. Maybe just get them next turn. Name the Mana Leak. Then next turn I can use Intuition to win. 1 life. Fancy gets Arcanis. Dies. They have 2 attackers. I do think I have to get Mind Over Matter. And let's name Mana Leak here. We discard a card and untap a city. 2, 4, 5, 6. There's Kamalh. 8 and 5. Belgrave 3. I don't cards left. And you bring back Kamalh instead of Arcanis. Right, I have 2, 4. I can untap city, discard Mind Over Matter. I have 6. Intuition, I go to 3. Get Shallow Graves. Then I lose the 4 spike unless I discard Kamalh. And then bring back Kamalh is not good enough. So I just have to pass. Tap their dudes. My Mind Over Matter. So impossible to like finish these matches in time. All right, activate factory, activate, go into combat, tap that down, discard. I afford to get rid of intuition. I have to. I don't think I can put Kamalh on top of this Arcanis. Maybe that's not true. Discard. Well, I'll have to just draw a reanimation effect. Yes. It's excellent. Alright, let's go. You'd kill both of their things. Kamalh, but then Kamal's gone. Now I can sack it with this. This is tough, man. This is tough. I can intuition Arcanis. That does it. Obviously, they have one unknown that could easily get us. But I believe if I get Arcanis here, any order, they had Counterspell, they would have used it, right? Technically, I could. There's just no harm in tapping one of their islands. In case they're being like... Oh. They cast AK. Matter. I'll have to go to second main. Shallow Grave. Draw 3. Tap discard. Yes. 3. 2 more Arcanises in my graveyard. Maybe I should have only gotten 1. It's alright, we'll be able to find enough reanimation effects. Tap, discard. Let's go. Always yes. Field 3. Lay out these petals. Tap city. Tap anus. Tap anus. Draw. Tap it again. Let's cast the duress. Why not? What do they draw? Chain of Vapor does nothing. Cool, cool. Let's in the game here. We'll Shallow Grave. This one, why not? Draw 3. Tap land. Tap land. Shallow Grave. 3. Black. I was just gonna keep getting that Arcanis back. How do I exile them? Oh shit. The beginning of the next end step. So if I go to my end step, then I can double. That's obnoxious. Yeah. Okay, so let's go to our end step. Possibly screwed this up. Should exile, right? Okay, good. Now let's untap a swamp. Corpse Dance. Oh, there's another one. Oh, I got it. Ready? I don't know if we're gonna have enough cards to bolt them though. Okay. Tap. Let's cast Necromancy. No, that wouldn't work either. They're not gonna exile. Well, I'm sure there was a way to do this, but I thought of it too late. And now we've got no time at all. That's right, this is a tough deck. We're learning. I think my mistake was when I intuitioned getting all 3 Arcanis, because I had enough mana to hardcast it. So I think I just need to have 1 in the pile. Ugh, I don't want to play this matchup again. It's such a grind. Definitely going to force us to learn our deck, though. We haven't seen Tides, but I'm pretty sure they're in the deck. So maybe a null is not worth it. Let's just try the additional duresses. I'll trim a Petal. Form of the Dragon. I mean, they have Fairy Conclave, but card is a lot of the time gonna still beat it. I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna trim one of the Arcanis. Might be Blasphemy. Alright, we got 5 minutes. This one is not it. This could be it. We did have other lines. I just didn't really have time. I didn't have time because I thought I had a line, and then I spent too much time trying to execute it without it being the actual line. But I could have brought back another Academy Rector and gotten Form of the Dragon in, or I could have just cast Form of the Dragon. Eventually I drew into the Form of the Dragon, but I didn't have to do that. Either way, get Form of the Dragon in, and or I guess I could have just used Mind Over Matter, lock down their dudes again, and then do it again next turn. I didn't think of that, which I probably would have I didn't only have 5 minutes on the clock in game 1. I just wanted to get to the next game to have some amount of time to maybe be able to finish. I was winning 2 games in this amount of time. Especially because it's so grindy. We're gonna cast an AK, or I guess not. We're gonna burn our clock. Still not sure I understand why Necromancy is in the deck. But I think it's just to have another reanimation spell. Like Frantic into making Arcanis that's not hasted is still pretty decent. Sure, that resolves. Hopefully they slam a Tide. Nope. Draw step. We have Frantic with Miscalc up. Doing the end step. Number 2. Sure. Pulse as well. Okay. So Necro sacks. Let's fetch here. Swamp, get an island. Go for Frantic. Yeah, we didn't really hit anything. Pretty bad. Okay. As you were. Phyrexian Furnace, that's pretty brutal too. Okay, well now we drew it. We'll pass. Powder Keg's fine. We might eventually win this game, but we do not have the time. Okay, we'll pass. AK number 3. Alright, that's going to be enough for me. There's, like I said, there's potential to grind out this particular game. We have 3 minutes. They just cast their 3rd AK. They have Graveyard Hate in play. We kind of missed on what our hand was trying to do. You know, turn 6 casting Frantic and not hitting a monster or an intuition is pretty disastrous. This was kind of a learning match, but I will see you in the 3rd round. Hopefully not against another just slog of a deck for us. Hey everyone, thanks for making it this far. Just wanted to thank everybody, and if you're looking for more, show you where you can find that. If you go to the description below, you can find all of my links. If you go further down in the comments, you can also find my links for bring you to my Patreon, various tiers for Discord access, early access, sideboard guides, donation decks, coaching sessions. You can also check out the podcast within those links, as well as my Twitch, where I do most of my content. You can see the commands that you can use in the chat. Let's say you do dono. You're wondering how to get a link, how to do it. Tells you right here. And the members Discord is within the Storm, MTG Storm community. And of course, it's always going to help if you hit the like and subscribe. So thanks again. Keep storming, y'all. All right, here we go. Round 3 against Heckman87. So I realized afterwards, of course, that the trigger that makes your life total become 5 happens on end step. So I could have just gotten Form of the Dragon pretty easily, and their 2/1 flyers just not going to beat this card because we'd be at 5. So sure, many people are screaming at their screen. Yeah, I can keep this. We've got some setup and reanimation. Gonna secure an island here and pass. It would not be a pre-modern video for us if we didn't play against Heckman87 at some point. Cloud Sprite. Heck plays Cloud Sprite. There's a fairy deck? I've never witnessed the fairy deck in this this format, but here we are. Pass it over. I would imagine there's going to be counterspells involved. It is unfortunate. We go to 17, and also they're probably going to have a lot of flyers. Wow. Super aggro. Cloud Skate. Sure. Coming in hot. Alright, let's play the Swamp. I'm gonna Frantic? Where do I end step it? I'm waiting for end step. I want them to know, and they're looking pretty aggro here. They might just tap out again. And then we can almost definitely win on untap. Right, we go to 14. Yeah, they're gonna tap out for another Cloud Skate. No land drop? Interesting. Frantic. I mean, they could have Daze, obviously. Card. Discarding both of these. Gainus on top. Tap. Go Corpse Dance. Foil. Okay. That was going to get us either way. An Arcanis. Doesn't exactly help. Play a land. And yes, I'm going to end step the intuition. Like anything that we're allowing them to draw into that's going to stop my intuition is just going to stop us next turn anyways. I guess maybe that's not true if next turn we draw Duress or Cabal Therapy. Alright, we go to 9. Now we Intuition. Yes, it's Shallow Grave. Nice if we had drawn Petal, Ancient Tomb, sort of Acceleration. I could have done both of these on end step. Now we only get the 1, which I think is worth going for right now. Draw. Pick Mind over Matter. Or don't know that this works exactly. Find a Petal, it could. I don't think I want to sack Arcanis to Tower. I guess that makes it so I don't have to play a land yet. That doesn't really help, though. I don't think. Alright, let's play land and cast Frantic. Did hit Petal. Okay. So, discard Island and Swamp. Then I still don't have enough to Tower. I'm gonna have to tap out. Or, we're not dead, though. That's good. Still think I want to discard lands. Order. Yep, these. I'm shy of casting Mind over Matter and winning. Academy Rector. Want to sack this now? Guess so. White. Play Rector. No Cabal Therapy, unfortunately. Still kind of have to draw something here. I don't have 4 blue. 4, 5. We go to 4. Didn't really have anything last turn. That's the case again. Flyers are rough. Okay, so this one dies. Venus is not flying. Let's get Mind over Matter. With my Academy, what am I supposed to get? Form of the Dragon. If I get Mind over Matter in Hardcast, Arcanis, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then I'll have 3 cards in hand to tap down their stuff. Okay. I think that's better than Form of the Dragon. Also, that Necromancy. Might be the reason for the Necromancy, so you can get it off a Rector. Could do that and cast Mind over Matter. Doesn't seem better. These. I guess I'll play City. Do I? Maybe I just don't play a land. Play the Arcanis and just pass. Obviously, if you untap with this, we win. One's dead. One's dead next turn. They have 4 cards. They're all spells, unless they just drew a land. They're not counter spells. Chain of Vapor would be annoying. Gosh. Okay. Fair enough. Replay Island. This creature can block only creatures with flying. The Human Pirate. Sure. Human Pirate, okay with me. Get into combat. Tap. Discard. Yes. Take 2. Go to 2. And we win. Draw 3. Go to Cabal Therapy. Name, foil. We've got 2 foils in a daze. Sweet. Alright. Untap. Discard. Yes. Draw. Untap, discard. Always yes. Always yield. Draw. I'm gonna do this a bunch of times. Be right back. I guess to make it quicker, you could just Intuition to get it in, doesn't matter what zone. But let's discard it. Black mana. Yellow Grave. Turn off auto yields. Okay, they're not gonna waste more time. I could do it quicker by holding priority and just putting a bunch of Mind over Matter triggers on the stack and then kind of manually just clicking once on Kamalh. But we got there. Alright, so Dazes and Foils and Aggro Flyers. I think Powder Keg looks pretty good. So does Duress. I think that's about it. From a Petal, I could play Miscalc. Certainly worse on the draw. Maybe I'll bring it back in on the play. Form of the Dragon. Pretty weak when they have all flyers. And I'm going to cut the Necromancy. I will keep. We need a land, preferably a black source, but sand is not too bad. Alright, they play a turn 1 threat. There's our black source. I'm just going to play Island. And then I'm probably going to duress them around days. Because sure, if duress gets hit by days, like, you duress the days, but then we also don't see their hand for this Cabal Therapy. Missed a land drop. Really? That's pretty wild. Well, let's find out why. No, they just kept a sketchy one-lander. Straight up hoping they draw a second land. I guess Curse Totem is pretty powerful against us. Didn't bring any bounce or anything. Yeah, I'm gonna take that. I mean, this also means that foil becomes a really bad draw for them. Actually, I guess since they have days, it's not the worst. The land. I'm gonna play around this days. Island. And if we had any amount of gold lands, once again, like, this card becomes a good draw if you have gold lands. I didn't even read this thing. The days on a stick. Interesting. Well, kind of play around these things by... No, I'm still just gonna let it go. Not do anything yet. I should have... I didn't read this card. I should have Cabal Therapied it. I could have hit two of them. I just figured it was some sort of vanilla flyer. Oh, that helps. Or wait, it's not... They have two Rishan airships or two Spiketail hatchling? No, I'm forgetting which one. Well, I'm not going to waste time looking through the log, because I can't play this deck fast enough to beat the clock while doing that sort of stuff. You know what? I'm going to Intuition. They save a point of damage if they want to daze and do this. And it kind of screws with their mana if they pick up an island. Okay. I have Academy and Cabal Therapy, which means I just want Arcanis in the mix. Two more Shallow Graves? Yeah. Maybe it wasn't Shallow Graves, because they're going to give us Arcanis. Don't necessarily want to be taking Shallow Graves out of the deck. Maybe you just get more Cabal Therapies, and they wind up in the graveyard where you want them. Yeah, I probably should have done that. Cloudskate, fine. I don't think they actually have the second hatchling. I think they have... I don't know, I forget. Okay, so... Oh, we don't have double black. Plan was Cabal Therapy myself, hitting Rector, Shallow Graving, and then Flashback Cabal Therapy. Yeah. Tower does not make black. I have to pass again. But I am going to Cabal Therapy myself. I'm going to name Academy Rector. Lay out the city. Pass. I'll instep Intuition. I don't know, probably get my Petals. I don't have a second reanimation spell. Maybe I get Frantic Search. Alright, they play a vanilla dude. Intuition. I guess I just get another reanimation spell. I don't have to use Cabal Therapy, I can use Tower. And then I'll have enough black corpse dances here. Their two unknowns are foil and island. Or actually just foil. They can get an island with the days. Island is not great. Well, see if they'll let Shallow Grave happen. I guess the problem with using Tower... Oh, I guess that's fine. Yeah, I think I'm supposed to use Tower here. Mind over Matter. Tap City. This card. The Arcanis. I think buyback is necessary. They counter it, you lose. They don't, I've drawn my deck. You don't get your buyback unless you resolve the spell. Just gonna let it happen straight up. I mean, to be fair, double days effect was not gonna get there. Alright, tap discard. We got him. Not gonna make us go through it again. Cool. So despite the disaster last match, we're 2-1. See you in the fourth round. Round 4 against this person. This hand is pretty clunky. We're gonna mulligan. This one is better. Still has problems, but I'll take it. Bottom one of the Arcanists. Arcani. Two Darkwater Catacombs. Oh, still play it out. Yes, I'll play Petal. Something wild happens. Opt. Gonna be Stifle Knot? Maybe. Delta. Swamp. Duress. Is this the same deck that we played against twice? That's really bad for us? That takes forever? I'd be really unhappy if it is. Kinda hoping it's like Iggy Pop or Necro or something. I mean, I don't want to say the other deck is interesting, but it's certainly not interesting right now, since we played against it twice out of 3 matches. Alright, they took our Duress. Underground River is not a bad draw. Let's play that. They know about the miscalc. Upped again. Bottomed it. Island number 2, pass. Alright, we're chilling. Land is not bad. We are chilling. We can cast Arcanis if they counter it, then Shallow Grave is on. But like that. I just play another island. I'm okay playing the island. Maybe I should have just went for it with City. But I don't know. Another Duress is definitely a disaster. Okay. I mean, we have a lot of Shallow Grave effects. 5. Pretty close to... They took the miscalc. Interesting. Play island number 4. Do you think we're playing against the same thing? There's a land. I'm gonna wait. Oh, they're gonna FOF at the middle of my combat step. Okay. We're definitely casting Arcanis. That's a Gush. Gush against the world? Yeah, I'm gonna say Gush against the world. They're not gonna take Gush. They have a Daze. We're dead. Let's go get a land. And cast it. No Daze. Chain of Vapor is also terrible for us. They're fetching. Casting Impulse. Passing. Love it. Probably gonna stifle this. Still gonna try to draw. Just happened. Wow. Alright. I will pass. Now they're gonna FOF. I think I miscalc this one. And they're off it? Wow. Okay. One way to win, I guess. I'm glad, because I don't want to grind through this anymore. Get the dresses. And I think that's it. Trim a Petal. I don't think I want to be trimming Arcanis anymore. The frequency in which we just cast this spell has been pretty high. I think I actually trim Intuition. Not because I think it's necessarily correct, but I don't think I'm the best at casting it with this deck. Okay. I can't keep this. Both Mind Over Matters. Our lands don't do anything. No disruption, no enablers. This we can keep. A little awkward. I think I just want to keep the Duresses. I feel like we get Duressed. It's going to be bad to bottom one and get the other one Duressed. Probably Corpse Dance. We have 7 other reanimation effects. We're going to be Franticing. Could also just be City. That land is super awkward. I'm actually going to bottom City. Obviously, that puts us on a 1-lander here, and that card was going to allow us to cast Frantic and Corpse Dance, but I mean, it wouldn't. We would still have to hit another land is the problem. Because you can't play Underground Sea in this format. I'm going to duress them. Or Spiked, I guess. I will pass. I think this deck would benefit from less soul lands, some 1-mana cantrips, and a more solid mana base. We drew a land. It's good for us. I guess I want to duress. Oops, all impulses. So this is actual Tog. Okay, I guess I will take one of the impulses. I mean, maybe I should have taken Opt. Then they cast an impulse. No, they're just... I'm never hitting multiple impulse with Cabal Therapy there if I draw it. Now they Opt. So this is not the same matchup, but it's... For most intents and purposes, it's the same as the other 2 blue-black decks that we played. You know, just a bunch of card draw, bunch of counters, duress, and a way to win the game. Getting duressed again. Oh no, I'm sorry, they haven't duressed this yet. Getting duressed for the first time this game. Took the Corpse Dance. They have 2 islands in hand, 2 islands, a Tog, and an impulse. So they have 2 unknowns. Good draw. Yeah, I'm gonna play it. Use it. It's all Arcanis. Bummer. We gotta pass. If I draw Petal, I can hardcast this. Any reanimation spell is really what we're looking for. All therapy. Hold on to that. An impulse here. Right, they got a Cephalid Coliseum. Interesting. Mind over matter was a terrible draw. They are going to Cephalid. You discard some amount of AKs. Nope, just a bunch of lands. Kind of a desperate move there, like, they're forgoing land drops, which you definitely want to be making in this matchup if you're them. Phyrexian Furnace. Okay, well, we have 2 Arcanis, so it only does so much against us from here. Really want to find a reanimation spell. Another Cabal Therapy. Well, at this point, I'm casting this one to take a Tog. Vendetta, Factor Fiction. Don't really have anything. Cabal Therapy again. Take the Foff. Probably best here. I mean, Vendetta's kind of annoying. City is definitely awkward. Got 1 unknown. Just all 4 Arcanis. Pretty wild. Intuition's a good draw. Yep. Now they got 2 unknowns. Here's the intuition. Guess I'm just gonna pass. We're gonna end step this intuition. I do have to deal with this vendetta, kind of. Alright. Intuition incoming. I don't know if they counter it, honestly. Alright. They have 1 unknown. I'm gonna start playing that lands out. It's a shame, like Petal, Frantic Search, these are all cards that would have let us cast Arcanis or Mind Over Matter. Or if City was Ancient Tomb. Now they've gotten down to the Arcanis naturally with Phyrexian Furnace, so that's a problem. Kind of. I do intend on hard casting some Arcani. Hollow Grave, huh? It's a good draw. They don't have to tap this thing to use it, though, is the problem. Is it worth making them do it? I guess so. Then at least it's gone. Represents a draw 3. Just 1 turn earlier, and this would have been great. Okay, we've got 4 mana. 5 mana. I'm gonna cast Mind Over Matter. Oh, I can't, it's 6 total. Her blue is so insane. Oops, I will pass. Impulse. Gush. Pretty good. Now they get a Psychatog. And we died. I don't think I'd change anything. If I had Phyrexian Furnace, I would play it. I think it's actually a very good card against them. Crypts? Probably not. In the right spots, it's good. Okay, we're on the play. And is awful. Yeah, I guess we're keeping this. They lead on Cabal Therapy, naming Duress. Probably not. Gonna pass. Like they are duressing us. Watch, we're gonna get duress twice next turn. We're gonna have had redress. They took the Cabal Therapy anyways. They land and pass. Draw. Petal. Okay. Guess we're working our way towards hardcasting Arcanis again. I think this deck wants fewer lands, better mana base, and cantrips. Smooth it out. Not a huge fan. I feel like a lot of these combo decks in this format, people prefer to go no cantrips, play some amount of soul lands, and just concede to the clunkiness. Like basically just say, yep, that's how the deck is. But I don't think, I mean, it depends how intense the whole combo package is. It's a fair amount of cards, but so is a deck like Iggy Pop. Okay. Not doing anything. They have a million counters. Yes. Guess I should just play an Arcanis here so I can start casting Corpse Dance on end step. I don't have to get Swamp here. Countered, hopefully anything but Force Spike. Brutal. They have 5 cards. Worst case scenario would be Phyrexian Furnace. Okay. Still only have 5 cards. Intuition's not... It's not great. Look at a Foffer's going here. Could respond by drawing 3, but then our Arcanis is gone. Let's see what this shows. Press, Gush, Opt. You're in so much trouble. Duress and 2 islands. Gush and Opt. Kind of screwed either way. Not necessarily. They went with Gush and Opt. Got an island. Cast the Corpse Dance. Leak. Counterspell. Stifle plus Vendetta. No Stifle. No Vendetta. What just happened? They have nothing? Okay. Draw 3 more. 2, 4, 5. Play a land. Start casting Frantic searches. Yeah, I'm gonna cast Frantic. I don't like. They have a gush. At least. How do you just let this happen? Off in response. Okay. Spike. You can have it. It's a pretty bad FOF, but they did take the 4 spike. They're gushing. Yeah. Cast Counterspell. I am going to attempt to miscalc that. Obviously, they could daze us here. Or foil. They have either. Because otherwise, there's a lot of ways we could win here. Okay. Discard to Arcanis. Tap Ancient Tomb, Catacombs, Island. Frantic again. Guess leaving a blue. Even a Petal here does it. Those don't. And Duress and Cabal Therapy, though. And then we're looking pretty decent for next turn. I wish I'd made black. Now I can't end step a Corpse Dance. I can end step an Intuition, though. Alright, let's discard City, Last Arcanis. Oh, I can just untap Womp, Tomb, Catacombs. Now I can Duress, take Impulse, and let's hope they're still F6 when I do this. And I can hit both Gush. Okay. Well, don't think they were supposed to let us draw 6 cards. And I think they were supposed to at least cast one of those Gushes, but obviously they're F6'd. Labo's Web doesn't matter to us. I don't know why you'd play this, but I'll take it. Let's see if we can Corpse Dance again. Or no, they have 4 spike, we knew that. I guess I'm just not even supposed to cast that. Oops. Just forgetting about it. 2, 4, 5, 6. I just want to play Mind Over Matter through. Maybe not. Maybe I'm still just end stepping Corpse Dance. Keep the card on top. Play a Tog. Okay. Let's Corpse Dance. They find Counterspell. Opt. Bottom. Corpse Dance is in. Draw 3. Wanna Intuition. Probably. Intuition. Mana Leak. Fine with me. Now they're dead. Play Petal. Whamp. Press. 4. 5. 6. Another blue. Fine. Mind Over Matter. And do the thing. Got plenty of time to do it. Let's draw some cards. Whole bunch of cards. Discard some lands. Drawn. Just gotta find our win con, then we can untap lands with Mind Over Matter. Cast it. There it is. Tap an island. Discard the dude. Tap island. Discard whatever. So I could just Shallow Grave. Shallow Grave. Bolt you. Tap, yes. Turn off auto yields. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I just go yes. And even save targets. Yes. I can do always yes and just don't yield. Boop. 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 Nice. We beat Tog. Okay. Last round. Please. No more blue-black counter spells and discard. Although we've kind of shown that we have some resilience to it, so I like that. See you in the final round. All right, here we go. Final round against PepeRokstar. Sand is acceptable. We'll keep. Our opponent is on the play and has mulligan to 6. Treetop Village go. Do some sort of Mox Diamond deck. All right, let's lead on Underground River. Opens us up to Wasteland, but I don't really want to get Swamp. Got a main deck Phyrexian Furnace. Yeah, I'm going to take that. Probably some sort of, like, Terrageddon deck. Probably not with Spheres. Probably just play another Treetop. Yep. Okay, now we have this Miscalc and Intuition. Frantic isn't bad. Maybe I should have just played Ancient Tomb. Our hand is fast enough where if we don't use Miscalc, I would have loved to have Intuition there. Or here, rather. Like, I don't think a miscal can call the herd. Say that. Play a Bloodstained Mire. Call the herd. Sure. I don't think I want to cycle miscalc yet. Maybe I do. Race them. Because at this point I can't counter a sphere. Let's get an island. Could still intuition, use the Petal. I'm just going to cycle miscalc. Cabal Therapy is not great. That's a lot of them. I think I want a Frantic here. Make black and Frantic. I feel like every time I main phase a Frantic with like probably a 40% hit rate with 2 draws is above 50, we've missed every time. We only hit mana. Like any monster here. I just already have intuition. Okay, well, discard Cabal Therapies. Untap my lands. Actually just gonna pass intuition on end step. Hopefully they're just making elephants. Go to 12. Ravenous Rats, that doesn't matter. Get rid of Island. Rat number 2. It also doesn't matter. I can just get and I'll get rid of Cabal Therapy. We can just Rector them. So intuition, get Rector and 2 reanimation effects. Shallow Grave's cheaper. That doesn't matter. I guess it's Corpse Dance, so I can buy it back. If we draw Form of the Dragon, I'll just quit Magic entirely on the spot, never to come back. No, we still have outs if we do. Heck, I can almost cast the thing. Alright, that gives the Rector. Now we can go for it. Well, Therapy them. I'm going to name Naturalize. And hope they don't draw a Naturalize. Form of the Dragon. Naturalizes over there. Forest. Okay. This will play out our Petal. Life total goes to 5. They can't attack me. And we get to 5 them every upkeep. Beginning of each end step. Another word I wasn't considering here. Not even just our own end step. Alright, 5U. Island, we'll play it. We go back to 5, all 5s. 5s all around. I got 5s on it. This is the ultimate I got 5s on it card. 5s on it. No way. Okay. Thought they had it. Alright. Another 5 on it. Did he? Plays around Rat, I guess. Cast Arcanis if we draw it. Actually, I could already do that. You just keep using your Ancient Tomb because you keep going back to 5. Now, they do play, like, it's almost impossible that they would be on 0 Naturalize in the main. But if I had to guess, they probably play 2. Definitely somewhere between 1 and 3. Most likely 2. All right, we're at 2. Frantic doesn't do anything. Did we get him? Sure did. Nice. Okay. It's like the Rock, but not survival. Got Rats. Phyrexian Furnace. Probably going to be a lot of discard. I don't think I want to add Duresses. I'm not sure I want to take him out either. I do want to hit Naturalizes. Crippling Fatigue, not the worst against discard. Especially Ravenous Rats. And if they're playing Hippie, I don't know if they are playing Hippie. More seasoned player probably would. It's otherwise kind of bad, right? It doesn't hit elephants. I don't care about rats. Powder Keg does kill elephants. And Phyrexian Furnace. Okay. Play a couple Powder Kegs. I don't think I want 3. Miscalc maybe sus on the draw against them. Probably better than Necromancy. You know what? I'll just play all 3 Powder Kegs. At the Miscalcs. They have discard too. Well. This is not the one. Mulligan. And is good. Bottom Rector. Kept on 7. Swamp Duress. Ostracize. Yeah. Doesn't seem like a good card against us. At best, it's putting the card where I probably want it. Is there a 2-drop that I want to hit? I mean, it's pretty likely they have Ravenous Rats. How much do I care about it, though? If they have multiples, it would still be nice to hit it. Also named Sylvan Library, which is a scarier card, but probably less likely that they have it. Or Withered Wretch. You know what? I think it's Withered Wretch. Did miss. That Cabal Therapy is brutal. They know our hand, so Intuition is getting smashed, which makes up for Ostracizing. And they have Tempting Worm. Man. Well, they wouldn't have been able to play Tempting Worm if we kept the other hand, I'll say that. Is it possible that they cast Tempting Worm? If they don't, we have some nasty cards we could draw. You're definitely not supposed to have this card against us. I mean, the idea is you play a bunch of discards so that you play it when it works. But, I don't know. I mean, you probably take the risk here. You probably play Treetop, Cabal Therapy, the Intuitions. Way too juicy. Otherwise, you're getting Cabal Therapy. Your Cabal Therapy. Well, I guess that's not the end of the world either. Let's see, I've called the herd. They're just going to play the Tempting Worm now, as we discussed. I do get to put in 2 lands, though, which is pretty good for us. It is a 5/5. Get their other 2 cards. They played a Forest. They have 1 unknown. Find out what it is with Duress. Or we can cast my... well, they're not going to sack their Tempting Worm to hit my Intuition. So, well, I feel like maybe I'm still supposed to Intuition here. No, because then the front side of Cabal Therapy is pretty scary either way. What's Duress? They drew Naturalize. Definitely an annoying card. The Cabal Therapy... yeah, we don't really have anywhere to go, especially if they rip an untapped land. These Intuition are gone. I don't think I'm supposed to name Call the Herd, though. Hoping they don't draw land. Ravenous Rant. Yeah. It's annoying. A pretty insane draw. It's even better than them drawing an untapped land. Powder Keg. Okay. Doesn't catch up to Tempting Worm. Actually, I guess it does. Just barely, but I have to draw another one for, like, the elephant to really leverage this one. Yep. Herd. We'll just say yes. Alright, I don't have outs here. Okay, I think on the play, I want to play my miscalcs, take the powder kegs out, and just play 3rd Duress. Run it. Good against Tempting Worm. I think I'm supposed to keep 7 if it's even remotely close. Play Island and pass. Top Village. Here we go again. Good name Cabal Therapy with my Cabal Therapy. I think I'm going to. It might result in them just blindly playing a worm. Double Naturalize. Hidden Gibbons. Rotting Giant. Attacks or blocks, sack it unless you exile a card from your graveyard. Okay. Well, good news is we're pretty close to just casting Arcanis. Hand is not very good against it. Hidden Gibbons. Sure. I feel like they should have played a Rotting Giant. Through an Ostracize. Again, I don't think this is good against us. Can you imagine if we had a reanimation? Well, a lot of them in our deck. Could just draw one. That's also good. Kind of. I guess not really. Well, yeah, it is, because I can naturalize. Well, again, kind of, because form is in our hand. Alright, so this is the reason that you play Necromancy, because you could make an Arcanis here. Otherwise can't. I guess we're getting Mind Over Matter. Naming Naturalize. Cannot type. Alright, goodbye, Naturalize. Double kill. And now if we draw Arcanis, we can cast it, making use of Mind Over Matter. Or any reanimation spell. That's an elephant. Frantic. That triggers Hidden Gibbons. Is it worth it? Probably is. There's just so many hits. In before they draw another Naturalize. Play City for additional mana. I don't have to, though. Still cast Arcanis if we find it. We did. No, I can't. Do I want to have a card for Mind Over Matter? Okay, we do it next turn. Play the land. Okay, no whammies. Turn, no Naturalize or Cabal Therapy. At the very least, we're still alive to any reanimation. They are getting in for... oh, we have a blocker next turn. Arcanis as a 3/4 is actually pretty darn relevant here. That'll make a difference which one I do. Arcanis, they have 2 unknown cards. A lot of ways they could kill us here. Or prevent us from winning, at least. But if not, won the game. You're not slamming anything obvious. For naturalized, you just slam it. Though even if it is naturalized, and I still have a blocker and I'm drawing 3 cards, it's going to attack. That's good news. Block. Trampler. Takes 7. Swamp. Running Giant. Only 1 card in hand. Nothing in this format that's going to get him there. We have won the game. Just barely, but won it indeed. Win it we shall. Right. I will be back after we draw 30 cards. Yay. I haven't drawn 30, but we have our thing right here, so let's go untap. I'm going to discard it. Draw 3 more, sure. Go black mana, Hello Grave, Boopia, turn off auto yields. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we got him. Wow. Okay, a 4-1, and lit pretty hard. I mean, it wasn't a clear cut. We would have won if I didn't do this. It's always a good sign when you've won a bunch in the time that you lost. You made, some errors. Good sign for the deck, at least. But what do I like? What do I not like? I'm not sure that I like having 4 soul lands in the deck. If I were to really be testing with this deck, I would be trying a smoother and shorter mana base with cantrips. There's just a lot of awkwardness, and I don't think we're necessarily fast enough to be warranting this sort of build. Having said that, I've only played 5 matches. I think part of the strength of the deck is there's a lot of ways to put the combo together, and then if you don't, you can just start hard casting Arcanis, which is an argument for soul lands, of course. I think stock lists usually have Buried Alive and Dark Ritual, but that doesn't seem very perfect to me. I mean, you're not going to get perfect in Premodern with a deck like this. Matter of what might be better. And across 5 matches, we saw a spot where Necromancy made sense. I don't know how necessary that really is. But, I mean, if it comes up once every 5 matches and is going to win you a game when it does, that is pretty close to worth it. It's otherwise just not like a terrible card for the deck, obviously. Can enable like multiple Cabal Therapies too. If you Academy Rector, you have multiple Cabal Therapies in your graveyard, you can get Rector to Necromancy, another thing to be able to use another Cabal Therapy. How relevant that is. The miscalcs I could take or leave. I would probably rather just have cantrips. I don't think Tower is good enough. I would likely be dropping Tower and Catacombs in at least 2 cities. Playing some amount of gold lands, but also probably playing more like 17 or 18 lands. And playing some 1-mana cantrips. And as far as what cantrips to play, I think I would probably play Sleight of Hand and Portent. The problem with Opt is if you bottom and draw a card that you don't want, that's pretty bad. In Portent, you can set up Intuition, Shallow Grave, Frantic, or Corpse Dance, so the delayed draw is actually not that bad. Sleight of Hand is like, you can keep the things in your deck, right? If you see a form of the dragon, you're never going to draw it as a result of casting Sleight of Hand. Portent, sure, you can shuffle and then draw something. I also saw someone playing Lim. What is it? It's like the Brainstorm-ish card, right? You get to put a card back from your hand into your library, and then it's a delayed draw 2. It helps you cycle through your forms and Kamalhs. I wouldn't hate 2 of those. It's definitely a deck that you could try a lot of different, like, it's very clear there's a range of things that you could do with it, which is cool. I don't really have a comment on the sideboard. Again, it's something I'd have to play the deck a lot more to have anything, meaningful to say. And Gloom is pretty narrow, but disenchant swords are pretty good. Yeah, that's all I got. Thank you again, Nota Bene. This was sick. I love Premodern. I love getting these dono decks. It helps me learn the format, which I'm sure increasingly I'm going to be playing more and more of. And increasingly more and more legacy players are going to be moving to. So, hey, if you want to force me to play another Premodern deck, I literally don't care what it is. It could be the legacy equivalent of D&T, and I'll play it in Premodern. There, I said it. But yeah, if you want to do a dono deck, look in the description below. There's links on how to do it. Otherwise, don't forget to check out my stream Thursday through Sunday, 11 a.m. to 6 EST. See y'all next time.